production for Tennessee. Don Daly, Owen Short, Vladimir Boyar-Tadal are the three officials here today, and it'll be Denzel Aberdeen and the Cats winning the opening tip.
Denzel Aberdeen is a huge part of this Kentucky team, having to take over the point guard duties.
Cam Williams, who could really shoot it, gets another start today for Kentucky, misses the three, and now Tennessee with its first possession of the game. And look at the starting five. Jacoby Gillespie is really the engine for this team, averaging better than 18 points and 5 assists per game.
And Gillespie being guarded by Owe. And Owe is, I think, Kentucky's best individual defender. He's going to have to be physical with Gillespie.
Yelovich switches on to Gillespie with the shot clock running down. And an unbelievably high-arcing three drops through the net for Gillespie.
Gillespie, you mentioned, he's 6th in the league, scoring 18 points per game, but he's gone off for over 30 twice.
Also 3rd in the league in assists, and now a Kentucky turnover. Gillespie with a full head of steam. Hang time, if that had been a punt, there would have been a fair catch at the other end. That ball was up in the air for a while. Gillespie's head coach, of course, Rick Barnes, 848 wins in his career, tied with John Calipari for the most among active coaches, and Elite 8 squads, Jay. Each of the last 2 years. Ran into Purdue 2 years ago and Houston last year, keeping him from getting to what would have been his second Final Four.
Yeah, last Final Four was 2003 in New Orleans when Jim Boeheim and the Syracuse Orange cut the nets down.
Yelovich making his second start in a row. Now Owe back into Yelovich. Pretty feed for the first bucket of the day for the Wildcats.
A beautiful pocket pass by Owe. And that's one of the reasons that Yelovich is in the starting lineup. He's a skilled big guy. Also a good passer.
Bishop Boswell into Jalen Carey, making just his second start of the season today. Up with the left, down with the rebound. On to Akara, who couldn't finish.
That's been a consistent problem for Tennessee this year, is finishing at the rim. Those are two relatively easy shots that the ball's missed.
And on a percentage basis, they are #1 in the nation in offensive rebounding. They get about 44% of their misses back. They just haven't converted enough of them. And now they're without Denzel Aberdeen for a while. He just picked up his second.
That means Jalen Lowe is going to have to come in as a freshman. The lefty have ball handling responsibilities. You can expect Tennessee's going to put, excuse me, Jasper Johnson. I said Jalen Lowe. Jasper Johnson. I mean, they're going to go after him defensively.
Corner three will drop for Bishop Boswell, who is coming on maybe the most productive game of his career. That double overtime win over A&M. Career highs in both points and rebounds. Johnson puts up a three, and the lefty drops it through.
Well, you can't let him shoot it from the catch spot. That's his 18th three on the season. He is a scorer. He wants his left hand, but if you let him catch and shoot, he can drill it.
So a freshman who is really a scoring guard, but with a season-ending injury to Jalen Lowe, now pretty much the de facto backup point guard. Ament misses a three. And it's out of bounds to Kentucky.
A guy like Jasper Johnson shoot it from the spot he catches it.
Both of these programs 2-2 in league play. Tennessee ranked 24th. Kentucky fell out of the rankings. They are 11-6 on the season. Johnson, Marina.
In the last 2 games, he's averaging about 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists, and he was 12 of 17 from the field over that 2-game stretch.
And again, had the game winner at the buzzer against LSU on Wednesday. Carey creating some space, and he's awfully good at that.
He really does a great job of sealing and carving out that space because he can get lower than Malachi Marino.
Yelovich open for three. Count it.
Well, Yelovich is a skilled big guy. Really good footwork and just knows how to play. And that shooting ability helps stretch the defense.
These two programs met 3 times last season. Kentucky won both regular season meetings, and then Tennessee beat the Wildcats in the Sweet 16. Overall, Kentucky holds the edge 163-79 as a long three goes down for Gillespie.
They just kept going screen, re-screen. There was a miscommunication between Owe and Marino.
Tipped into the backcourt by Akara, recovered by Yelovich.
It is not enough to guard just one screen. You've got to guard screen after screen against Tennessee.
Williams swings it to Yelovich. 6 to shoot. Williams for 3. And Carey holds off Marino for the rebound.
Jalen Carey is wide, and he is a physical presence.
Vanderbilt transfer right into the chest of Marino. Switches to the left, but it won't go.
Another close-in shot that Tennessee missed.
But another offensive rebound, and this time he puts it back in.
Boy, it is so hard to keep Tennessee off the glass. They are relentless going after offense.
That football game Monday night.
Vernon Carey played on one of the great teams of all time in college football, that 01 Miami Hurricanes team.
Another Kentucky turnover.
Really good pressure by Gillespie,
who's in a lot of traffic and dribbles out of harm's way. Troy Henderson into the game for Tennessee, a freshman from Richmond, Virginia, number 24. Also another freshman, Amari Evans from Pittsburgh. Point lead.
I think he's named Dwayne Brown II because he's as big as 2 Dwayne Browns.
Being one, just being an individual Dwayne Brown wouldn't be enough. Another Kentucky turnover, and between the injuries, the Aberdeen foul trouble, and the inability to take care of the basketball, the Wildcats are up against it early here today.
Well, without Denzel Aberdeen on the floor, that takes one handler away. And I'm not sure that this is the best passing lineup that Kentucky can have out on the floor.
Gillespie lost it, but a tip by Estrella bounces it out to Evans, who calmly buries a 3.
Boy, that tip is a big play by Estrella, because you let Kentucky get out in transition. That's where the Wildcats are at their best.
The lead has grown to 10. Yelovich banging down low with Brown. Can't finish it.
Well, Brown did a good job of walling up and got into Yelovich's body when he was going up.
Now Brown at the offensive end to lay it in. And what a start for the home team.
You know, Dan, Kentucky has had some slow starts throughout the season. They have been a second half team. But right now, they are getting worked, and that has to change.
In their 10 games, to your point, against power conference opponents, they are minus 89 in the first half and plus 55 in the second half. They fell behind by 15 early at LSU and came back to win. Henderson misses the 3. Right now, the Volunteers on an 11-0 run. Jasper Johnson will end that. Boy, is that a nice-looking shot.
Well, that's Kentucky in transition, and even though he was 1-on-2, you know, that is not a bad shot to take. Obviously, he made it. But you're not going to be more open running 5-on-5 offense against Tennessee. You take the openings in transition where they are.
Yeah, Rick Barnes wants to force the Cats into as much 5-on-5 as he can. Keep them out of transition as J.P. Estrella with a little jump hook on the heels of a couple of scoreless games in Tennessee's last 2.
I'm not sure one-on-one in the post is going to be in Kentucky's favor. It's been too easy for Tennessee to get the ball inside.
Corner 3 for Colin Chandler. He is the team leader in made threes on the season. That's his 29th.
Another guy, you have to make him put it on the deck.
Gillespie, a nice hustle.
Like, that's backwards. You got to perform. I want them to go, we've done the review, we were right again.
Like, and give themselves, like, count the basket
exactly,
for themselves.
Exactly.
Trent Noah, he can shoot it, doesn't play all that much, not as many minutes this year as he got at times last year, but you've got to respect his ability from 3. Brandon Garrison into the game as well. Diabate way off with the...
How good of a shooter you are.
Diabate, such an important player for Alabama the last 2 years, transferring to Kentucky in the offseason. Amen back into the game for Tennessee. Again, 40 points in his last 2 games. 17 in the loss to Florida, 23 in the win over LSU. And give him an assist, a nice post feed into Akara, who did the rest.
Well, give credit to Nate Ament there. He came up on that shake action from the corner, and threw a really good pass, and the angle was the most important thing for Akpara. He got an angle on Marino.
It really has the potential.
Like using his dribble to improve his passing angle. That was a veteran play by a freshman.
Drive and finish there by Diabate to make it a 7-point game as we near the midway point of the first half here in Knoxville.
You're going to want to see Tennessee wants to continue to go inside. Right now, they're getting what they want in the paint, especially with the reversal.
And Amen try to take Noah out of the perimeter here. He'll use the screen from Carey. Diabate the switch.
And now you got Noah having to guard Carey.
Gillespie, though, takes matters into his own hands and knocks down the 13-footer.
Those little rip screens up around the elbow are putting Kentucky in a position at the switch.
Chandler turns it over, taken away by Amen, and then Chandler knocks it back to Noah.
Boy, great back tip.
Marino right down on ESPN2. Tough inbounds play. And stolen. Great play by Amen. Gillespie. Not this time. And the foul underneath.
Gives you time in the air to make that adjustment. That was really well done by Akpara and also by Nate Amen.
So 6 turnovers by Kentucky, 5 of them live ball turnovers, and Tennessee has turned those turnovers into 7 points. Gillespie, nice feed. Carey, blocked by Marino.
Well, you just got to go right into him. If you try to adjust it, that allows a shot blocker to get to the ball.
Marino taller than Carey, also has more lift. Carey is a more physical player, but he is a below-the-rim kind of guy generally. Owe rises up for a 3. Rebound, Amen.
Amen is a really good defensive rebounder, especially.
And here's more of that aggression. The foul for Kentucky was on Cam Williams. That is his second. He remains in the game, and Denzel Aberdeen has returned to the game with 2 fouls.
The horn set into a flex look.
Aberdeen, the Florida Gators transfer, was a great 6th man for the Gators last year. Has taken on, especially with the injury to Jalen Lowe, much more responsibility now with Kentucky. Owe drives and is fouled.
Yesterday in practice, I was sitting watching Tennessee practice with our director Mike Roig, and Rick Barnes was wearing out one of his players about not setting a screen or doing what he's supposed to do. Then he comes over to us and says, "You guys want a brownie?" It's like, that was the biggest flip of a switch I've ever seen.
And here's how good of a guy Rick Barnes was. I was unable to get here in time, so I for practice yesterday, saw him today. First thing I said to him is, "Hey, got any brownies yet?" He went, "Yeah, sure." Walked over and got the box.
You are such a mooch.
Absolutely. When it comes to brownies, there are no rules.
I was concentrating on the game. You're going, do you want nuts with your brownie or not?
11-point lead for the Volunteers.
Boy, Estrella just made a strong move on that other line.
Williams, he's going to get.
Do they have to rotate? Good job by Tennessee to get the ball inside and play inside out.
They're also shooting the ball well. They're not turning it over. They've got 8 assists on 11 made field goals and just 1 turnover in about 12.5 minutes of basketball. There's another basket by Gillespie and another assisted basket as well. And the lead has grown to 14.
Beautiful set out of the timeout. A horn set. They wound up in flex. Came off with a gut cut up top, and then Gillespie came off the pin down. Beautifully run.
Yelovich the handoff to Williams. Where will Kentucky find offense? They're actually not shooting it poorly. They're just not getting many shots because of all the turnovers. Aberdeen, little shovel pass blocked underneath by Brown.
Boy, Amari Evans came over and
A foul to give before they put Kentucky in the bonus.
Our AFC divisional round matchup is set for tomorrow. It'll be the Texans and the Patriots at 2:45 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Coverage begins with postseason NFL countdown at noon Eastern here on ESPN.
And there's a Tennessee connection to that game. Bishop Boswell of the Vols went to the same high school as Drake May. Myers Park High School in Charlotte, North Carolina.
How about the season Drake May put together?
And Drake May's one of his brothers, his older brother, Luke May, made that great shot against Kentucky in the NCAA tournament for freshmen. But they still play really hard. And I think their offense is good. is that their rim finishing needs to get better. They only shoot 59% at the rim. That's got to improve.
Gillespie already with 14 points in this game. Tennessee leading by 14. And tipped out of bounds. Still volunteer ball with plenty of time on the shot clock.
Well, Jacoby Gillespie started his career out at Belmont, played 2 years for Belmont, then transferred to Maryland where he was an all-ACC performer. But he's been even better at Tennessee under Rick Barnes.
Post feed, and this one is knocked away as Amen couldn't connect with Estrella.
And that's where Amen probably has to be a little more selfish and take on that matchup with Chandler.
Oweh well short on the three, and the rebound down to the Vols.
You know, Kentucky's not getting ball reversals.
Evans. Very good defender on him in Oweh. And now back to Gillespie with 10 on the shot clock. Great little pocket pass. Brown, who finishes strong.
Just that middle screen and roll, and Brown got out of it quick. There were 2 on the ball on Gillespie, and he found Brown, and who's going to stop that when he gets up ahead of steam? That was beautifully done.
Boy, Tennessee is executing at a high level at both ends of the floor right now.
And Kentucky's just dribbling.
Another turnover as Estrella and Evans combine to take it away from Oweh.
That ball was locked to the right side of the floor and never got out.
Another two-man game. Brown the swing. Amen the extra pass. Evans too strong on the three.
Boy, that didn't go in, but that was good offense.
Chandler no, and over the backboard.
That middle third of the floor is difficult to stop. Now Kentucky looks like they're... Are they in a little zone now?
Amen steps up to the free throw line, misses the jumper. Chandler the rebound.
That looked like a little 2-3 zone.
Aberdeen into heavy. Groundhog Day for Kentucky, Jay. This has been the story for them time and time again this year.
Well, it is not a good position to be in, but the fact that they've done so well in second halves has to give them some confidence.
Good look for Oweh. Too strong. Contact
of contesting that three by Oweh and making him adjust it a bit before he almost another turnover.
And it is. Aberdeen stepped out of bounds trying to save the ball. So I think both coaches have reason to be unhappy just 16 seconds into the second half.
That's 2 turnovers just on out of bounds underneath for Kentucky. And Felix Okpara again on the ball, making it difficult. You got to lob it up there. And that allows defenders to adjust.
Boswell coming off that 13-point, 11-rebound game of the double overtime win over A&M. Played 43 of the 50 minutes. Gillespie stumbled, regains his feet, and knocks down the baseline Jay.
Boy, how about that little hesitation move? Yelovich had to switch out on him. And he just has such good body balance.
Boswell just took a shot to the face from Oweh. Oweh missed them both. Came into the game a 76% free throw shooter. Gillespie, enough time and space, can't hit the three from the wing. Carey keeps it alive, and that will be Tennessee ball. That is not over and back because there was no possession before the ball went into the backcourt. It was just a loose ball. Carey takes the feed from Gillespie, smothered by Marino.
Marino took a shot, was knocked back, and still was able to get up and block that shot.
Marino, a 7-foot freshman from Georgetown, Kentucky. Becoming a big part of this team in recent weeks.
So they can't get into Marino. He's got Gillespie on him. And 3 of them missed.
And now just 7 for 13 on the game. Pressure here by Williams, but Gillespie gets it over with ease.
One-man press break.
Nearly stolen by Oweh, out of bounds though.
Quite locking and trailing to get out in the passing lane and knock that ball away.
And Boswell was just taken out of the game after that pass and got an earful from his coach. A 3 for Aberdeen, and Kentucky has it into single digits.
Now this puts a little bit of game pressure, just an easy screen, and Dwayne Brown was not up to touch. He was playing almost drop coverage. And Aberdeen just pulled up.
Tennessee again gets it over.
Oh, what a beautiful pass. And a great cut by Nate Ament. That's how you break pressure to score.
And that is his first field goal of the afternoon. Don't look now, though. Denzel Aberdeen has gotten hot.
Waves.
Makes them both back to a 10-point lead. 2.5 minutes into the second. Gillespie trying to slow down Aberdeen. Diabate looking for help. Brandon Garrison into the game for the Cats. Good ball pressure here by Tennessee. Aberdeen, the look away, the feed. Diabate no, follow no, and it's Tennessee ball.
Or even challenged at the rim. Those are plays Kentucky has to make on the road. You have to score that.
Definitely signs of life from Kentucky here in the second half, but it is still a 10-point game.
You have to look inside there. I thought Brown was open.
Gillespie weaving his way through traffic. Tough pass at the feet of Akpara, and that's a turnover.
Nothing to be gained there. That's when you pass it back out. Gillespie, he was snaking that pick and roll. That might have been a better opportunity to just pull up there for that short jumper.
You see the turnovers. At one point in this game, Kentucky had 8 and Tennessee only 1, and now it's almost even.
A good help by Brown on that last ball screen in the middle.
Aberdeen steps in. Off to Williams. Good recovery there by Gillespie. Williams keeps the dribble alive and reverses it up and in.
Boy, really nice move by Cam Williams. You want to take away his three-point shot because Williams has been shooting it well of late. He's got 23 threes on the year, shooting about 35%.
The Tulane transfer with his first field goal of the afternoon to get him back within 8.
Boy, Cam Williams had a big pick-6 turnover late in the game against LSU that really helped change that game.
Shot clock at 5. Ooh, Garrison might have gotten away with one. Brown has to put it up. Kentucky ball.
Good defense by Kentucky, especially on Gillespie. They're showing him a lot of bodies now off screen.
Aberdeen at the point for Kentucky.
Got a switch. Well, you score here, that puts a lot of game pressure on Tennessee.
Trying to get by Brown. Can't. Diabate trying to make the play. Spins to the strong side. Well, Gillespie back in the game. And for Kentucky, Jasper Johnson, who was great in the first half, 5 for 6 and a team-high 12 points. He is in for the first time in the second half.
And now he gets to play with Aberdeen on the floor, and he can just concentrate on scoring.
Diabate, lefty up. And that
was on the
looked
rim.
like it was on the... We're talking about fractions of an inch and a difficult call to make. So a successful challenge. And Kentucky playing much better at both ends of the floor. They were down 17 at one point in this game, down 11 at the half. They're down only 6 right now.
And that was a really big call to get them to 2 possessions.
Deep one for Gillespie.
I mean, Gillespie hasn't been getting open off initial action. You have to make multiple efforts against this Tennessee team with Gillespie.
He's got 4 threes.
Perimeter shot, when the things he does extraordinarily well is defend, rebound. I mean, he's relentless, chases down every loose ball. What a bad pass.
Gillespie turns it over. Aberdeen finds Diabate. Got his miss and lays it in. And it's down to 5.
I think Tennessee is going to look back at the last 4 minutes of the first half as letting Kentucky really get back into this game.
Boswell for 3. Not there. And a hold underneath on Garrison. He was just dragging Estrella away from the play.
You know, he's at his most impact with his energy.
Jalen Carey back into the game for the Vols. Nate Ament driving baseline. Couldn't turn the corner on Diabate. 7 to shoot.
Boswell calling for a screen.
Akpara. He won't shoot it from there.
Good fake.
Amen steps in and hits it. The Volunteers needed that.
That shot fake got the defender to fly by, and so good at the mid-range, but kept his poise late in the clock.
And that's got the crowd back into it here as well. Marino one-on-one with Akpara. Chandler. It goes!
And he got hit by Nate Amen as he was flying by.
And this is as close as Kentucky has been in a long, long time. A post touch for Carey. Kicks it back out. Knocked out of bounds. Tennessee once led by 17. It's down to 4. They're the team struggling with turnovers right now. A nice set play out of the timeout, though, and Chandler has to foul Akpara.
A screening situation on the open side on the left. And with Akpara and Gillespie involved in that, it forces you to switch. And Gillespie trying to lob it up to Akpara with Colin Chandler on him. Chandler wound up having to foul it.
Gillespie the kick.
Can't let him reject that.
Amen for 3.
You have to make Jacoby Gillespie use that screen. He rejects it, and the corner defender has to come off a corner shooter.
And Amen is feeling it and heating up here in the second half. Tennessee by 7. Not for long. Aberdeen is hot as well.
Best ball movement of the game. Diabate got a piece of the paint, kicked it out. They made the extra pass.
Kentucky's got it down to 4 again. Gillespie gets a piece of the paint. Blocked by Marino. Oh, did Johnson get away with a walk? Loose ball at the other end belongs to Tennessee.
Boy, what an opportunity for Kentucky.
Lots of traffic and a chance for 3 for Amari Evans. Just under 4 points, 3 rebounds per game, and he's given them a 7-point lead.
That was a huge play.
21,000 strong here in Knoxville. Marino blocked by Akpara.
Well, it looked like Akpara got hit by Nate.
This is the first game of a very busy day in the SEC, including a terrific game coming up next between a couple of ranked teams. It'll be Florida at Vandy right after us on ESPN.
Country and Texas Tech has JT Toppin, the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year, and then Christian Anderson, who was spectacular in that second half against Duke in Madison Square Garden, where the Red Raiders wound up beating Duke.
And you and I are going to Lubbock next week. Very excited for that. Houston is there. Those two teams have already met this year. A very close win for the Cougars in an incredibly
cut to get open in that left corner. That was beautifully done by Gillespie.
Out there with Boswell, Evans, Akpara, and Amen. Gillespie, left hand, no. Follow, no, but a foul.
They let him
6 assists already in this game. I don't know that there's been a season in recent memory where there have been as many gifted point guards as we are seeing this year in college basketball.
Just gifted players. If you play in the SEC and you don't get hit in the face at least once a game, you didn't play. You didn't get in the game.
Diabate, his 3rd. Couple of free throws for Gillespie.
Otega Owe has to get going. He's only got 2 points, has not yet made a field goal in this game.
Does not have a rebound in this game either.
And here's a guy averaging 21 a game in SEC play. Not a good foul by
coming into this one, and he has basically been a non-factor here today.
He's had 6 out of his last 8 have been 20 or more. An efficient 20-point game. He's not taking a ton of shots to get him.
Away into Marino, got it back. Got it back again. Missed. Weak side Marino. Missed. Chance after chance for today, and it's Kentucky ball. Down by 6 with a ton of time still left.
Got a switch. Now Diabate being guarded by Gillespie.
Aberdeen, who's been big here in the second half, steps in. Soft touch to knock it down.
Boy, he's been the offense in this second half for Kentucky.
Denzel Aberdeen has been aggressive.
This is the third game in a row. Standards has a bit of a smaller lineup too. Nate Ament is at the 4 spot right now for Tennessee. They don't have a Jalen Carey or somebody like that in there at the 4.
Well, I still think Tennessee should look to play inside out.
Aberdeen puts it up. Not this time. Out of bounds to the Vols.
Mari Evans doing a nice job getting it to the defensive glass to help out. Pinned that ball to the backboard, just couldn't come down with it.
Kentucky has never led in this game. This is as close as they've been since very early in the game. Spin by Gillespie. Evans hesitates and hits.
They went with the horn set, cleared out the right side so Gillespie could go one-on-one. Just a really good drive to the basket by Evans.
So Tennessee doing just enough right now to keep Kentucky at arm's length. Owe got it. He needed that. They needed that, and it's down to 3.
Boy, Tennessee has to stay on the floor on fakes. They're flying on fakes, and that's opening up these drives and putting them into rotation.
Owe's first field goal of the game. Hara to clean it up for Tennessee.
Boy, that horn set where they clear the right elbow just opens up the lane for Gillespie. And if you go to block the shot, that opens up the offensive glass.
Marino with...
He must do something wrong.
No, I don't think so. His interviews are fantastic. His interviews are as good as his ability on the field.
Maybe he doesn't put his dirty clothes on.
Amen.
Did answer to that 3-point play by Malachi Marino.
Mo Diabate is back in the game for Mark Pope now with 4 fouls. Aberdeen's been huge here in the second half of the Wildcats. Owe turns the corner and draws him about, you know, how different it is for a guy. You come in, you transfer in from Oklahoma, has a great year last year, but maybe wasn't, you know, the top guy on the scouting report every single time last year, but he couldn't sneak up on anybody this season. Amen. 2 defenders on him. And he's
the rim. And can Tennessee keep Kentucky out of the lane?
They keep trading baskets back and forth. Kentucky getting close, but unable to get all the way back and potentially into the lead. 6.5 to go. Aberdeen for 3. Off the back of the iron, rebound Owe. Owe in the court. They were 2 for 12 in the first half from 3 and 8 for 11 in the second half. Shot clock at 5. Aberdeen's a long way from the basket. Keeps the dribble alive and finishes.
Boy, what a great job by Aberdeen to keep his primary defender on his hip after that screen.
He's now got 18, Jay, 14 of them here in the second half. Gillespie nowhere to go. Trying to get the ball to Carey. Now calls for a screen. Rejects it again. Feeds Carey. Lays it in.
Boy, allowing him to refuse these screens has been a problem for Kentucky. Every time he's refused one, Tennessee's gotten good stuff off of it.
And they rise to their feet again here in Knoxville. Better than 21,000. Diabate blocked. Brown got him.
Boy, what moron was saying that Tennessee didn't have a lot of shot blocking in there.
We'll scratch that from the replay.
Great
Don't
block.
worry about it. Brown. And
every point in this game.
Boswell's on Aberdeen. Jasper Johnson.
That's a walk.
Tied up, got out of it, almost turned it over. A ragged possession right now for Kentucky. Garrison, no. Tip, no. Tennessee ball.
Boy, Kentucky has had point-blank opportunities that they haven't finished.
Owe comes up with a loose ball and finishes.
Boy, just a mishandling of the ball. Looked like Gillespie was trying to give it up to Brown, and Owe was able to take it the other way. That's Kentucky when it's at its best in transition. There's been precious little of that. And Jacoby Gillespie and Nate Ament have really been the offense for Tennessee.
It's just a 4-point game, just under 4 minutes to go. Kentucky, by the way, has only turned it over once in the second half.
That's just what I was about to say. They've stopped turning the ball over, and that's a big factor in getting back into this game and having a chance to win.
Shot clock running down on the balls. Gillespie fouled
by the freshman.
Number 4 on Marino, and it's an 87% free throw shooter. Oops, on the line. I can't believe he did that.
You don't believe in that stuff, do you?
No, but it does happen a lot.
They can't hear you. Well, that guys miss a lot. It's like that no-hitter thing.
Yeah.
It's a
1 of 2. 5-point game. The crowd trying to lend its energy to the Volunteers at the defensive end of the floor.
Nate Ament guarding Otega Owe over in the corner.
Aberdeen the lob. Diabate the kick. Good recovery by Ament. Spin by Owe, around and out. Offensive rebound, Diabate. Floater, Aberdeen. 3-point game. He has been sensational in the second half.
So many more offensive rebounding opportunities for Kentucky in this second half. They hardly had any, if any, in the first half.
16 points in the second half for Denzel Aberdeen, 20 on the afternoon. Boswell into Carey, too strong, tip no. Who never shoots from more than like 2-3 feet away from the rim. He has gotten himself in good position. He's gotten the rebounds, just hasn't been able to convert. Gillespie no. Soaring for the rebound is Nate Ament. Now driving. Elevates. Ball is loose. Boswell had it, but falling out of bounds, he turned it over.
Akara kept it alive.
2:20 to go. It's a one-possession game.
Got the switch.
Akara on Aberdeen. Gives it up, gets it back. Now Carey on him for the tie. Diabate tips it back out, and it is Marino. 2 minutes remain in regulation. Chandler gets it back. Drives on Carey. Finds Diabate, and it's a 1-point game.
Well done by Colin Chandler to play off 2 feet. Came to a 2-footed jump stop and then just pivoted back to pass it into the middle of the lane.
What was once a 17-point lead for the home team is down to 1 with a minute and a half to go. Gillespie has to pick up his dribble. Gets it back from Akpara. 5 on the shot clock. Driving on Owe. And is foul. Player back to the free throw line for 2.
But Gillespie, this is his 8th 20-point game of the season for Tennessee.
And again, a guy who is almost automatic at the line and misses one. Tension here in Knoxville. 2-point game. And Gillespie will come out as Amari Evans will come back in on defense.
This gives Gillespie a chance to take a breather before.
Rick Barnes hollering out a play, not using a timeout, telling Gillespie what he wants him to run. Oh, it's stolen by Chandler. Owe, and Kentucky has it.
Gillespie, but perfectly read by Colin Chandler.
The turnover story has reversed itself from the first half. A miss on the free throw, but an offensive rebound. You can see about a 13-14 second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Tennessee will play the possession out. Aberdeen the drive, and he hits. What a second half for Denzel Aberdeen.
What an amazing comeback by Kentucky.
And Rick Barnes.
That can open up a three, but right now it's about extending the game.
Amen to inbound. Into Boswell.
Got Diabate guarding Gillespie, and he's face guarding and not going to let him get the ball.
Down to 8 seconds. Henderson into the game. Too strong on the three. And a foul is called on Diabate. Or you need to deliberately miss it.
I think there's a lot that can go wrong with deliberately missing it, but you can certainly see them trying it, and they're going to call a timeout to talk about it. But with Garrison and Marino there, it becomes about a free throw blockout, and all you have to do is get a finger on the ball.
Kentucky 31 points to make it, or will it be a deliberate miss and hope for a rebound and a putback? 2.6 to go. Deliberate miss. Tipped. Carey had it.